and this is the movie The Mountain of Virginity.
Audio Jungle.
The life of a timid introvert changes dramatically after he gave a ride to a girl during a snowstorm. He just needs a giant boner to get through this fat. The film begins with a view of the main character, a guy named Fushi, who works as a loader at the airport. He is rolling along a concrete field, dragging behind him not only the burden of years and emotional baggage, but also banal trolleys with suitcases. In the next scene, he is going to eat chocolate balls with milk. Champions breakfast for dinner. His mother at the same time makes sandwiches for tomorrow's work shift. The next day brings another monotonous shift of loading and unloading luggage. In his spare time, Fushi, as befits a decent antisocial stay-at-home, plays board war games, building tank wedges according to history textbooks. Another scene finds the hero in a toy store. A brand new radio-controlled all-terrain vehicle is purchased, the hero carries it home. On the way, a neighbor girl asks who he is carrying a toy for, but the guy has no answer. Opening the door, Fushi finds his mother doing an intimate thing. To avoid even more awkwardness, he leaves to test the machine on a snowy street. Why does the neighbor's girl find him? After making sure that the boyfriend named Rolf is gone, the guy returns home. In the evening, while mom is doing her friend's hair, Fushi goes to visit Mordor, with whom she plays a game of war game. One of Mordor's sons wants to play with them, but dad forbids, these toys are not for children. After that, adults smoke schmall, discussing the latest news, in particular, a caught Fushi, an overgrown hookup. The conversation turns to hypnotists who can erase shocking memories. The next morning, while clearing a light Scandinavian snowball, Fushi notices Rolf wandering around his table, touching the figurines without asking. He goes inside to ask not to do so, and corrects the combat flanks of the plastic army. The man in response advises him to pay more attention to real life, rather than reconstructions of the glorious battles of the past. In particular, he recommends finding a girlfriend on the internet. At work, colleagues discuss Fushi behind their backs. They take away his headphones to ask a question about his personal life, but he literally evades the answer. Then the annoyed bullies throw headphones in the back. In the next scene, the heroes of the cafe makes an order from the series as usual. The waiter automatically removes the second appliances as unnecessary. After dinner, Fushi sits in the car by the river, listening to heavy rock on the radio, which he ordered from a DJ. Fushi's birthday is coming. A homegrown stepfather hands him a cowboy hat and a certificate for dance lessons, where the hero will be able to shake the woods and meet new people. At work, Fushi is called by his boss to discuss the delicate issue of whether his colleagues are bullying him. Despite the outright hostility on their part, the hero does not betray anyone. Returning home, he finds a neighbor's girl on the stairs. She lost her keys and can't get home. The guy invites the child to his place to feed. After the milk pie, the girl plays with his collectible figurines and wargame models until her father returns. In the evening, Mother and Rolf gather Fushi to dance, despite his reluctance to go there. Having reached the hall, the hero timidly enters inside, where the rest of the students have already gathered. After watching them having fun, Fushi turns around and leaves. He sits in the car and spends time listening to the radio and talking on the phone while a light snowstorm is slowly falling outside the window. After waiting for the end of the dance, the guy notices a lonely girl coming out last. A girl named Sham walks up to his car through the snow, asks for a ride home. On the way, she tries to talk to him, but the timid Fushi, who does not have enough experience in social interaction, answers at random. He admits that he also had to go to the dance, but did not dare. A fellow traveler invites him to the next class, and he awkwardly agrees. In the afternoon, Fushi discusses tank models with Mordor, when Rolf is interested in how the classes went. The old man asks to show him what he has learned, but from his strange answers it becomes clear to adults that he did not go to any dances. After a hard day's work, his colleagues bully him again, forcibly dragging him into the shower to wash. Fuss is painting figurines when a neighbor's girl rings the doorbell. She invites him to visit because she has no other friends in the neighborhood, they have recently moved. Though not immediately, but he agrees. Inkcom pushing into the shower to wash. Vodka asks the hero why he doesn't have a wife. She believes that he is just shy, although her dad calls him crazy for the whole head, which the child tells Fushi with childlike spontaneity. Going to a dance in the evening, the hero promises his mother to bring a blowtorch from work. It is needed for cooking French dessert. At his first lesson, Fushi not only diligently repeats the movement, as the teacher tells him, but also stare at the food. After classes, they go for a walk together. The hero invites the girl to his favorite cafe, where he visits every Friday. Then they go to his favorite place on the shore, where Fushi, taking advantage of his friendship with the DJ, orders her favorite song on the radio, shyly getting out of the car to talk. The song makes a favorable impression on the girl, although the guy himself is diligently shy. Finally, Helen invites him to tea, but he refuses, citing the fact that he does not drink this noble drink. After dropping off a friend and driving away, Fushi realizes that he has blunted a little. He comes back and rings the doorbell to drink milk. During a casual one-sided conversation, the girl is interested in where he works, telling along the way that he loves traveling. The hero answers in monosyllables, unable to maintain friendly chatter, but returns home smiling happily. Having brought the promised blowtorch from work, Fushi warms up her mom's friend's French dessert in the kitchen. The women discuss his recent late return, implying that he had a date. At work, one of his colleagues, a bully, asks him to see what's wrong with the car. While Fushi is picking under the hood, he apologizes for the prank in the shower and invites the hero to a party on Saturday. However, his remorse is caused more by the fact that the boss asked uncomfortable questions. During a visit to a hobby friend, Fushi discusses a recent date with him. However, Mortar scares him by the fact that the dating period is the most terrible for a man, because it is necessary to constantly come up with something to surprise a girl with. His words sink into the hero's soul. Fushi, knowing about her passion for travel, goes to a travel agency to fly abroad, where it is warm and sunny. Then he goes to the flower shop where Scene works, but she left there a long time ago. Fushi is waiting for a girl outside the house when she returns from work on a garbage truck. He rings the doorbell to talk, but the girl angrily slams the door in front of him. The guy presses the call button again to say that he doesn't care where she works. This melts the ice between them. Then Fushi invites her on a trip to Egypt. The girl is interested in whether he ordered one room or two different ones, dotting and there can be nothing between them. On Saturday, he goes with his colleagues to a party that starts with a paintball match. Then they drink culturally in the apartment. Soon a guest stripper appears, arranging a professional show. After the mandatory program, the guys pay the girl to sleep with Fushi, but the hero refuses and wants to leave. Then the others push him into the bedroom to undress him, but he resists. Using the advantage in the mass, the hero easily throws the bullies, finally hits them in the face. Maya with a hangover in the morning, he asks his mother to call work and take a sick leave. Going out into the fresh air, Fushi meets a neighbor girl who offers to play. He refuses. I plan to take a car ride to the shore of the bay. Then she asks to ride with him, but the girl does not appreciate admiring the harsh Scandinavian beauty and asks to go home. And there the police are already waiting, called by the girl's worried father. He immediately calls Fushi a pervert and forbids him to approach his daughter. The guards invite the hero to the department to explain the situation. An experienced employee asks the guy what exactly he and the girl play when she comes to visit. Not finding the corpus delicti or malicious intent, he releases the good-natured fat man. In the evening, Fushi, wearing a suit, goes to the dance. He's looking for Scene, but she hasn't come. After class, he drives to her house, where, not daring to go in, he watches from the car. The next day, Fushi drives a radio-controlled car around the yard. Local children run up to him, and he allows the boy to drive himself. But when the child's mother notices that he is hanging around a fat man accused of pedophilia, she calls him home. Tormented by conflicting thoughts, Fushi returns to the dream house and, breaking the glass, gets inside. The apartment is a mess and chaos, and the girl herself is locked in a closet, like Tom Cruise in Stan Marsh's room. She responds to an attempt to talk with a request to leave. The hero almost obeys, but the cat's plaintive meowing forces him to stay. After feeding the animal, Fushi remains in a chair in front of the TV with a pet on his stomach. In the morning, he wakes up on the sofa in the apartment and cooks breakfast, which he leaves in front of the closet door. Having cleaned up the apartment, Fushi is about to leave. Breakfast is still on the floor untouched. He shows up for work to take a few days off. Having received the go-ahead, the guy returns to Shaun to change the broken glass. Fushi stays with the girl, studying recipes and cooking according to them, in the process trying to get the hostess to talk. The girl admits that she skipped work and is afraid that she will be fired. Then Fushi goes to the dump to talk to her boss. He offers to work shifts for her. The hero returns to his girlfriend, taking a huge bouquet along the way. He carefully opens the door, then picks up the girl sobbing with self-pity, comforting her that everything will be fine. Fushi carefully washes her in the bathroom, makes sure that she eats at least something, puts her to bed and covers her with a blanket. The hero sorts the garbage in the landfill instead of the girl. The other employees look at him askance. However, instead of bullying, they invite him to the pub after work to watch football. Returning home, Fushi also finds a distraught mother. Her boyfriend dumped her. Hinting that her son deserves better than a depressed scavenger, the mother drips on her son's brain so that he leaves his girlfriend. During another visit to Shaun, the hero finds her doing repairs to music. Fushi brings a friend who has regained consciousness to a cafe. Driving around the city, they drive up to a former pastry shop, which Helen has looked after for her own flower shop. Finishing the last shift, Fushi drinks with new colleagues, who, although they make fun of him, but completely without malice. When he returns to eat, she jumps on him right off the bat and drags him to bed. In the morning, Fushi wakes up in the same bed with a girl. They return to dance classes, and for the first time, instead of a strict suit, he is dressed in a more appropriate outfit. Even the cowboy hat is with him. Shaun offers to go on a previously planned tourist trip together, as well as go to a new level and move in together to live together. But now Fushi himself cannot leave his mother alone. The girl is upset by his unwillingness to get out from under her mother's skirt, and she leaves. Fushi runs after her to tell her that he is ready to change his life. At home, he saws a table for a war game, collects toy figures in a box, which he takes to a neighbor girl. She's not at home. The father, having accepted the gifts, apologizes to him for his suspicions. Fushi, along with Mordu, carries a bunch of boxes with things to the apartment with Yong, who nervously walks back and forth. She's having a nervous breakdown again. She thinks she's making a mistake by moving in with him. The guy has no choice but to transfer things back home. Upset in the best of feelings, he sits in the room among the boxes. Resentment does not let go. While having breakfast, Fushi looks out the window, where a blizzard is blowing. Snow completely covers the ground, reminding him how caring about sleep has overshadowed his unsociable introvert gut. At the airport, a guy looks at happy travelers flying to distant countries or returning home with new emotions. He returns to the premises of the old pastry shop, where he and Mortar are making repairs. Having finished putting the store in a divine form, the hero leaves the key to it along with a note in the mailbox of the order. In the next scene, a truck with a trailer of luggage carts crawls across the concrete field of the airfield. But Fushi is watching him from above, from the landing corridor. He, along with the rest of the passengers, is preparing to go on a trip to a foreign and distant country. The runway is rushing through the porthole, accelerating faster and faster. Fushi has left his comfort zone, severed ties with the past and opened up to something new.